Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by Betting Pros. You know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Ah, that's better. That's better. The sound of villainy because we had a weekend. We had a weekend. Now, if you're listening to this show and you're saying, "What do you mean we have a weekend? I looked on here. I didn't see this show." Well, you got to remember, show's Monday through Friday. What happens on the weekends? Well, 9 times out of 10, I'm doing something. And I really was doing something this weekend. It was really important. I had my best friend. She was getting engaged this weekend. So her boyfriend surprised that, well, now fiance, surprised her and had all her friends and family and loved ones there. So we were all up there in Maryland. And you got to see something beautiful and see them get engaged. And so, really, really excited for her and them going forward. But I mean, that's just the proof. Like, this is a Monday through Friday pod. And so you got to join the Discord, bettingpros.com/Discord, to make sure you get in there on the weekends and you get whatever picks that I give out. And I gave out five. Gave out five, and guess what? We went 4-1. Now that's talk about a bounce back, especially after last week. Especially after last week. Talk about a bounce back. Aaliyah Boston over 9.5 rebounds. That was never in doubt. Kelsey Mitchell over 18.5 points. Thank you very much. Shout out to Kennedy Carter, who hit a crazy three to tie the game with 1.1 left. Over 19.5 points. She deserves an all WNBA slot for certain. We also hit the over in the Sparks and Wings game, over 172.5. That game finished with 213. And then we also hit, we didn't hit, I'm sorry. But Asia Wilson, she finished with 20 points. I took her for over 25.5. And Carmela Cardosa just had her in a straight jacket. Like that was look, Camilla is going to be defensive player of the year sooner rather than later. But as her career goes on, as she acclimates herself to the W in the next year or two, she's going to be a multiple time Defensive Player of the Year winner. I'm telling you now. And I hope by the point that she does win it, the books finally stop being scared and gave us odds on Defensive Player of the Year, so we bet it. She is 100% going to be a Defensive Player of the Year winner. Oh, 5 blocks on Asia Wilson, the greatest player on the planet? Crazy. All right. Nonetheless, you need to make sure you're in that Discord. bettingpros.com/chat for that Discord. bettingpros.com/chat for you to get into that Discord because we went 4-1 and you shouldn't miss out on the plays. Everybody should be in there. Make sure you turn on the hashtag for fast break bets as well. All right, let's get into this. We have 3 plays I want to talk to you about. Before I do that, I gotta make sure I talk to you about the Betting Pros app. Make sure you go to wherever you get your apps in the App Store and track all your bets in one place with the Betting Pros app. Make sure you sync that sports book. You can go out and look at other people as well in different. Check out who's doing hot in WNBA, who's doing hot in the college football market, NFL, all of that. Check that on the app. It also gives you game picks and everything you need. It's a one-stop shop. Make sure you sync for free. Sync and make sure, and if you don't know what I mean when I say sync your sportsbook, it automatically uploads your bets from your sportsbook to the app. You don't have to input them again. It does it automatically and it gives you ROI. It tells you your win percentage, all of that stuff. Go in there and check in with the app Betting Pros app wherever you get your apps in the App Store or Google Play Store or whatever Androids call their stores. Is Samsung's? I never figured that out either. I should probably look it up. But whatever you Androids call your App Store, make sure you go get in there too. I'm sorry, I'm not discriminating against Android lovers. I apologize. If you like your Android, I love it for you. I'm not going to get one. Maybe I'm behind the eight ball. If I am, I will be that. That will be me. But I'm cool. I got the brand loyalty with Apple. I'm cool. I'm rocking with them. All right. Let's see. All right. Three games, three plays. First game on the docket. Let's go with the Indiana Fever. They're on the road going to play the Atlanta Dream. Fever are laying 2.5 here. 166.5 is the total. 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast game. All right. So I think Atlanta is maybe one of the hotter teams in basketball right now for the WNBA. I think that they have gotten healthy and they are absolutely making Tanisha Wright look like a genius, honestly. And I think there's very real criticisms about Tanisha Wright and how she coaches at times. But what I think that she's good at is when she has her full assortment of players, she drafts a very good game plan for those players. So this is the first time since we've gotten back from the break that we're getting a really, really good look at Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Jordan Canada, Tina Charles, all playing at one time. Like we really haven't gotten too many times we got to see that before the break. And so they come back from the break. They get a very, very good come from behind win against the Storm and the Connecticut Sun. They get a very good win where they kind of let the Mercury come back in that game, but it was a for the most part they dominate that game. And then they come back and they battle back in an immediate rematch with the Mercury, and the Mercury get their immediate rematch. I'm not going to fault that too much. But they're playing really, really good ball right now, man. They're at home still, and we're getting an Indiana Fever team on the road that has struggled all season, really. Honestly, since this kind of new enlightenment with Indiana, they've kind of become a home road team where it's more of you kind of like them at home and you fade them on the road here. And so if you look at Indiana, looking at their home road records, it hasn't been good in the past 5 games. 2-3 overall. They actually have not won a first half straight up in any of those road games. But 2-3 overall. They're 0-1 as a favorite in that span. The Atlanta Dream at home in these past 5 games are 4-0-1. They look really, really good. They are defending. The offense has woken up since the break for the Atlanta Dream. I mean, look at the points totals that they put up. They put up some pretty nice point totals here since the break in the offense that I was concerned about before the break. I really, really was. But everybody's healthy, and Tanisha Wright showing that she can coach when she has all her players. It's when you start taking players out the lineup that she just doesn't make the proper adjustment and they start looking stagnant. But right now, the offense is flowing. They scored 80 points in that loss against the Phoenix Mercury. And then the game before that, yeah, they only had 72, but they held the Mercury to 63 in that game. They didn't need to score. Previous 2 games against the Connecticut Sun and Seattle Storm, who are two top 5 defenses, by the way, they put up 82 and 83 points, respectively. So we have a dream team that, from all indication after the break, it looks like they can score now. And we have an Indiana team that still kind of hasn't proven to me that they can, and they had rest. I mean, you had a Phoenix Mercury team that still put up 89 and you got the win, but you gave up 89 points. You did hold Seattle to 75. That's very good, especially with that second half collapse. That was very, very good. But then Minnesota's coming off a back to back, and you had almost a week off. Like it was what? When did they played that last game before that? What was that? 18th, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So from the 18th to the 24th, they had off, and then you come back and you play a Minnesota team that's coming off a back to back versus the Aces, and they still put up 90 points and get the win and cover. I just, I think Atlanta has a lot to play for here. Atlanta dropped the first 2 games to the Fever. including the last one in Atlanta. So I think this is a nice little bounce back spot for them at home with their full assortment of their team. I don't know who's going to guard Ryan Howard. I actually have no idea who is supposed to guard Ryan Howard. And I'm pretty sure Ryan Howard has had some really good games. Let me pull that back up real quick. Um, I believe she went over her prop in all of her games between this season and last season. Let me go back and make sure I'm not telling no lies there. Yeah, so Ryan Howard, here's Ryan Howard's last 5 games against the Indiana Fever. 26, 17, 24, 21, 23. Her points prop is at 16 and a half. You should probably take the why am I not giving out Ryan Howard's points prop as a play? Why would I not do that too? Okay, I lied. I have 4 plays. Okay, I know I said I have 3 plays. I actually have 4. So let's pause the Ryan Howard discussion. Let me just tell you more about this matchup. And looking at the last 5 games, especially the home road splits in these games, Indiana Fever in scoring, they're giving up 87 points per game on the road in their last 5. That is 11th in WNBA. The Atlanta Dream are defending 70 and giving up 76 points per game. That is third in WNBA in that span, their last 5 at home. Uh, and so I'm kind of looking for a little bit of the same here. I think that the Indiana Fever are still going to push the pace, but I think the Dream are now better equipped to match them with that pace. And so yeah, maybe Tina Charles doesn't have the best game because she doesn't need to be running up and down the court, but Ryan Howard can run with them. Alicia Gray doesn't have any problem running with them. They bring Maya Caldwell off the bench. She doesn't have any problem running with them. Like, I think that if they try to push the pace up in this game, Jordan Canada doesn't have any problem running with them. So I think if they try to push the pace up in this game, the Dream offensively are well equipped to play with them. And I think that the Dream are also going to be able to get more stops. Like whether it's a 1, 2, 3 more stops, that's probably could be the difference in a win or loss here. So I'm taking the Atlanta Dream to get it done against the Indiana Fever. You can get that spread at 2.5. Always, I play the spread and I play the money line. So spread 2.5. I am playing the plus 120 on the money line as well. I think that is a good deal. I do think the Atlanta Dream are going to get the win against Indiana at home and just wrap up what was a really, really good homestand after the break for them. I really think that's a good homestand. And look at the playoffs. Like the Atlanta Dream are 1.5 games back, 2.5 games back, 2.5 games back from the Fever for a playoff spot, and they're 1 game back from the Sky, I believe it is. Yep, 1 game back from the Sky, 2.5 games back from the Fever. So this goes a long way if they can get a win here. And these two teams meet up one more time in Indiana in September. So I'm looking for the Atlanta Dream here. Down 2-0 in the series, get on the board, get a win against the Indiana Fever. Plus 120 on the money line, plus 2.5 for the spread. All right. Play number 2, Ryan Howard, over 16.5. I already talked to you a little bit. I kind of buried the lead in that I like this Atlanta team, so I'm playing Ryan Howard as well because the usage has been there as of late. She's had really, really good familiarity against this Indiana Fever team. Like I said, 26 in the meeting that she played earlier this season. She did not play in both. She only played in the game in Indiana. She did not play in that last game that was at Atlanta. So that's also another thing to think about. They won a game without Ryan Howard. So Ryan Howard back in this one, 26, 17, 24, 21, 23 against this Indiana Fever team. And she's kind of been a little bit inconsistent, but she had 16 points in that last game against the Indiana Fever. She's right there. 19 in the game before that. She gave 30 to Seattle. Like, she's still there. I think Ryan Howard, she's going to be able to put it together here. I just don't know who's going to guard her. Like, you're not putting Caitlin Clark on her at all. And if you do, then we're definitely hitting this prop. Kelsey Mitchell isn't known for her defense, and she's too small. She's not going to be able to guard her. It's going to be what Katie Lou Samuelson probably, and I think she's probably a tad step too slow to try to do it. Maybe Lexi Hall gets some serious minutes, and Lexi Hall comes off the bench and tries to handle a lot of the Ryan Howard work. But like I just don't see it. I think if they're pushing the pace, Ryan is gonna push the pace with them, and she's gonna be able to go. And I can see her going coast to coast a couple times, getting to the rim, and getting to the foul line. So I expect another good game out of Ryan Howard here against the Indiana Fever. Give me Ryan Howard over 16.5 points. That is play number two. All right, play number three. We are going to the next game. 10 p.m. on the East Coast. The in not Indiana. I'm tripping. I don't know. I'm stuck on this Fever game. Here we go. The New York Liberty are on the road playing the Phoenix Mercury. Liberty laying 5.5. 163.5 is total. I am backing the Phoenix Mercury here against my libs. I am. I'm backing the Phoenix Mercury, taking them +3 in the first half, plus 150 on the money line. And we just played Mercury first half. We just got the win against Atlanta. And so now they're back here at home. And so the Mercury, really, really good home team, really, really bad road team. That's pretty much been par for the course for years with this group. Like they have such a great home environment. The games are really lit. You also have to travel West Coast, East Coast teams. That's a tough travel spot. It has been in the past, and even though charters and stuff make that easier, like I think that they play a lot better and they get up for these really good teams at home. I just look at their last home game against the Liberty where they got the win as 5 point dogs. And so I think that here we have a really good spot to back this Mercury team in the first half. And it's really more of, if you look at how they've been over the course of the season, when they've been playing in the first half, they're 5-1 as a home dog in the first half this season. 5-1 ATS as a home dog as well. A very, very good team as a home dog. And then you look at what the Liberty are doing this season in the first half. They are 5-1 as road favorites in the first half this season. I think that maybe a little bit skewed earlier to the early part of the season where they just weren't covering anything. I do think they're a better team and they're defending now, but this Mercury bunch, one, needs a good win and needs to put together a stretch of wins, like not just one win against Atlanta after you lost the first game, but to continue to feel good about something. And the fact that they're coming back home here, I think that it's going to be a parade, and with the Liberty coming in town, and they're going to get up. I think they're going to get up really, really early in the game. This is a spot where I think the Liberty, hey, especially coming off of that loss to the Sun, maybe a little bit of a sleepwalk here early on in this game. So I think the Phoenix Mercury can go out here and just kind of punch the Liberty in the mouth. Now, the thing that I concern myself is while the Liberty are 5-7 as road favorites in the first half, they're 8-4 for the full game. And so that's why I like the first half number. I think the Phoenix Mercury actually can kind of get out there, hit some shots, hit some threes, and be able to really, really challenge this Liberty team, at least for the first 20 minutes. They've been good in this spot all season. I'm going to back them in this spot now. I like the Phoenix Mercury in the first half. And also, they're 4-0 with the rest advantage in the first half at home. No, just overall. That's not even at home. That's just overall. With the rest advantage, they're 4-0 in the first half. So I like that's even more intel. Shout out to the money baller. That's even more intel here that I like. And it just kind of supports me back in the Phoenix Mercury here. +3 in the first half, plus 150 on the money line. It's another dog. Two dogs that I like here. So a couple of opportunities there for you. And always, again, always sprinkle on your dogs. Like if I want to teach you anything, because there are some people that are listening to this and they're not heavy sports bettors. They may be getting into this very early in the first time, but I always sprinkle my dogs. So if I'm playing one unit on a game, whatever that unit size may be for a person, if I'm playing one unit on a game, I'm probably gonna put some, let's say my unit is $100. I'll put a $75 on the spread and then $25 on that plus money dog price just to get something juicy, especially when you start get cash in dogs that are like 3-1. Shout out to Georgia Tech, by the way. I know this is a basketball pod, but shout out to Georgia Tech for that 3-1 cash this weekend. Yeah, it's very, very nice. So that I always recommend. If I give you a play like that, you hear me say I'm taking the spread +3. I'm always sprinkling on the money line as well. Like I have to, just in case. Just in case. All right, that's play number 3. Play number 4. Seattle Storm at home, welcoming the Washington Mystics. Laying 9.5. 160.5 is the total. Okay, guys. Remember when I said I went to go see Jewel Lloyd play basketball against the Mystics at home in DC? Remember something? That's the second time that I have seen Nneka Ogwumike play this Mystics team. And in both games, on the road, she cooked them. I mean, she has cooked this team. Nneka doesn't play about the Mystics. She's going to go out there and just be able to do what needs to be done. And I appreciate it because we're just going to continue to cash on it because I have no idea why this prop is this low. Like, I really don't know why it's this low. So we have Nneka Ogwumike points prop over 16.5. She's been over this line in her last 4 games against the uh Seattle Storm, not Seattle Storm, I'm sorry, against the Washington Mystics here. 24 in that last game, 19, 20, 18. So she's been able to get it done against this team. And hey, look, that 19 and 24 is when she was on the Storm. The other 2 games, the 18 and the 20, those were when she was with the Los Angeles Sparks last season. Essentially the same team for the Washington Mystics, but Nneka's just been able to continuously get to her spot, get to the foul line, and just be able to rack up and run the score up on this team. So I'm gonna take her to do it again. I think this is a really, really, really nice spot for her with the team. She's really, really comfortable for Nneka, who's been playing pretty solid ball. So yeah, I'm going Nneka Ogwumike over 16.5 points against the Washington Mystics. That is play number 4. Nice little recap for you. Atlanta Dream +2.5. We have the Phoenix Mercury first half +3. Again, money line plays on both of those. Then we have 2 player props: Ryan Howard over 16.5 points and Nneka Ogwumike over 16.5 points. Wow, since we have both of them at 16.5, does that mean we have to ladder both of them to 20 and put them in a parlay? Possibly, potentially. If you want to do that, I might be mad at you. I might do it. I'm probably going to do it. So, we'll see what happens. All right. Let's see here. Wow, this was a little bit longer for pod. So sorry about that. But I did just add a play. So I guess that kind of makes up for it. But sorry that you had to listen for a little bit longer than I wanted to. So I'm just going to go. I'm not even going to waste your time. I'm just going to tell you to make sure that you follow me on X at really real __. Make sure you follow Betting Pros on X and TikTok at Betting Pros. Betting Pros on Instagram at Betting Pros NFL. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff on YouTube. YouTube.com/Betting Pros. And then, hey, make sure you leave me a review. Please, 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 please go leave us a review. I very, very, very much could use it. I would love it. And I'm telling you, it may be worth your while. I'm just saying, I think you should do it. bettingpros.com/fast. That is bettingpros.com/fast. That's a short link, and you can go in there, drop a review really, really quick. It'll take 2 minutes of your time. Just please. All right. So bettingpros.com/fast for that. All right. Yeah, guys, that's really it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna end like this. We are out of here.